Once upon a time there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White who lived in a big castle. Her stepmother, the queen, was jealous of her beauty and wanted to be the most beautiful in the whole land. One day the queen decided to get rid of Snow White and sent her deep into the forest. Snow White wandered through the forest and came across a small cottage that belonged to the Seven Dwarfs. The dwarfs welcomed her kindly and offered her to stay with them. Snow White was happy and helped the dwarfs with the housework. But the queen did not give up. She disguised herself as an old woman and brought Snow White a poisoned apple. Snow White bit into it and fell into a deep sleep. The dwarfs were desperate and put her in a glass coffin. One day a prince came by and saw Snow White lying in the coffin. He was enchanted by her beauty and was desperate to save her. But before he could kiss her, the queen appeared and said, "Stop. I have a better idea." The queen explained to the prince that she wanted to marry him to bring peace to the kingdom. The prince was surprised, but he agreed. The queen kissed Snow White on the forehead, and she woke up. Snow White was confused, but the queen explained everything to her. "Snow White, I have realized that we are both strong and beautiful. Let's be friends and rule together," said the queen. Snow White agreed and was happy about the new friendship. But that was not all. One of the dwarves, named Grumpy, had secretly fallen in love with Snow White. Snow White had also developed feelings for him and decided to marry him. The wedding was a big party, and all the dwarves celebrated. The queen and Snow White became best friends and ruled the kingdom together. The prince and the queen married and lived happily together. Snow White and Grumpy moved to a small house in the forest and lived there happily and contentedly. And so they all lived happily ever after, having lots of parties and enjoying life to the fullest. And if they didn't die, they're still alive today.